What up, y'all? Back again, my friend. As you know, I'm an ex-con. I've been out here 5 years, longest stretch I've ever had in my motherfucking life. I always had about 6 months at a time, and I'd go in for years on end, man. Ever since I was like 12. Was institutionalized as fuck. Even in there, I was locked up. I was in the hole all the fucking time, beating guards, fucking prison fights. Man, I don't give a fuck. I was in it. I did it, but I'm got tired, and got family, got real shit, got other shit. Not knocking that shit, but that was kid shit. That was me growing up shit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, I did it a long time. Got out, what, 36 I was when I got out, I think. Uh, so, and I'm in my fucking 40s now. But that was a lot of fucking time in there I gave to that shit. But everything happens for a reason. It happens when it's meant to happen. And yeah, I know these goddamn glasses be sitting crooked on my head, so I know you motherfuckers busting shots. So hey, it is what it is. I got one ear sits a little higher than the other one. Fuck you too. But I don't know. Who gives a fuck? I'm just saying. I do notice it. I'm not just some. I might have drunk or too fucking high where I don't realize my glasses are sitting fucking crazy. They are prescription. It is what it is. I ain't just trying to look cool. You know what I'm saying? That shit comes naturally. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna do another poem today from the point of view of an ex-con institutionalized fucking bipolar ass motherfucker. Some of these go all the way back to when I was a kid, man, 12 on up, and none of them are real recent. This was all me growing. This is all different fucking stages of my growth and my understanding and my bipolar shit getting vented onto a fucking piece of paper and writing. And you'd be surprised how much that helps. A lot of this shit was wrote when I was doing whole time. And I just wanted to fucking tear shit in half. I just wanted to fucking bug out and go crazy. And all it would do is I'd get whooped by the fucking cops. I'd be in there longer. It didn't do nothing, man. So I would write to try to get this shit out because I didn't know how to express it any other way. I started with Rooftop. This one's Breaking Free. And I'll go back and forth. Like I said, these are from different stages. Breaking Free is actually one of the only fucking songs I ever wrote. And I guess, I mean, we sort of made it a song, like a death metal song, a poem, whatever you want to call it, man. And, but it's the first time I ever sat and wrote with somebody else. And it was one of my first cellies when I first went down. And he was a young kid too. Mark Drupal. God rest his soul. He was an emotional kid. He was a good kid. He got out, and from what I heard, got in. Had an old lady who left him and shit. They were both on drugs and stuff, and she left him, and he went through some emotional shit, and I heard he killed himself. And if it ain't true, good shit. I'm glad you're still living, buddy. If it is, because you never know, but that is what I was told in there, and I don't know why somebody make that up, but God rest his soul if he is, man. He was a good kid. But we wrote this together, and it was just about being locked up. It was mainly me writing, but he would read a lot of my stuff, and I would read it to him, and we listened to a lot of the same music and stuff, which I messed with a little bit of everything. And, but he chipped in, and I can't remember how much or how little. I just know we wrote this together. A lot of it was me, but he definitely had, and I'll always remember him, and I love this because of that. So it's called Breaking Free, and it's about being in prison, and it's about coming from, I think his family is a little closer to him, but he'd still been through his own share of shit, and it's about coming through, swimming through the shit and coming out the other end, man, and ending up how you ended up there and so on and so forth. But anyway, and part of how you feel in there trapped and stuck and wanting to scream, and so it's called Breaking Free, man. I got no patience now. Gotta get out somehow. Down on my knees right now, begging you please somehow. Lock us up in a cage, beat us into a daze, feeding upon our rage. I got something to say. Gonna feed me someday. Realize you're not safe. Poking the fire with the fuel. Don't you know that? You're a fool. Hate's gonna come back and overrule. Murder all your family and burn down your schools. Chaos forever. Fuck your rules. Because we are a generation that you made. We are a generation full of hate. You must lie in the bed that you made. Because you're the designers of this fucking grenade. So, shout out. Live or gone. Mark Drupal, buddy. At least a couple of your words move on. Bruh. Brother. Motherfucker who shared one little segment of my pain. That's what people don't understand, man. It's... The streets are a rough fucking place. Some of us choose that shit. And the ones who do, we live hard, we feel hard, we hate hard, we love hard, we fuck hard, we fucking destroy hard. And then we go in there and we stew on that shit, and we either get through it or we don't, man. And for all the ones that come out the other side, fucking more peace to you, motherfucker. Keep on riding, boy. Because it's just up from here. You got through that shit, now you're here. Let's get it together. Come on, let's go. But yeah, man, this is wrote by young cats that are feeling fucking trapped, feeling fucking stuck, man, like we're on fire. And we kind of like to burn. And then we don't. And then it's, you know what I mean? I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying right now, but it felt right, so I said it. But it's another poem, man. Breaking Free. I think, actually, hey, me please somehow. I think I fucked up. I think this is one I wrote in the hole. I didn't write this with Mark, but I don't give a fuck. Shout out to him anyway. I think it was around the same time period. But there's another one about being in prison, but it goes deeper. It goes into the family and the other shit. Razor Wire. That's the one I wrote with Mark. So you know what? Fuck it. I'll make this a twofer. 2 for 1, man. Motherfuckers in prison, they know that too. I guess you know it out here in different ways, but you definitely knew it in there. So anyway, let me find Razor Wire. I believe it's in this notebook. I've done a lot of writing over the years. And I'm going to pause this for 1 second. I'm going to find it and I'm going to get back to you, kind and patient fellers and women and peeps and whoever's. And okay, hold on. Oh shit, that did not pause. Alright, back again. Now here's the poem that I did write with another motherfucker. That other one was sort of similar, so for whatever reason, I was thinking it was that one, but it wasn't. It's Razor Wire. And you'll understand, like, this is more death metalish. The other one was like, you know, I guess I better explain that first because basically I'm pretty sure that one I wrote in the hole, man. And it was me raging out, and it was me feeling trapped, and it was me basically saying, look, motherfucker, you just stuck a live grenade in this fucking cage, and even if it's just me, you know what I mean, fucking something's getting destroyed, or could be, or has the potential to, and that's how I felt. I felt like you're throwing gas on a fire, man, and that's how I felt. I was a young kid, and I stuck in this fucking cell with nothing but time to think, and that's how I felt. That's what that one was about. Razor Wire is not too far different, but it's about being locked up. It's about coming from any kind of crazy upbringing or shit. Even if you wasn't, which I think he come from a better family and stuff, upbringing than I did, but he still had his issues. He still went through his shit. He still identified with it, and this is where we came from on this. This is where we got to. So here we go. Razor Wire. Razor wire makes you bleed. In your head they plant a seed. Got your needs. Make believe. Sucking deep you'll never breathe. Can't you see it's not a dream? Someone please come rescue me from this pain and misery. Little kids not supposed to be. Something they should never see. Mom and dad, you fucked up me. You in here I'll never see. Razor wire makes you bleed. In your head they plant a seed. Water it so it will grow. Don't say that. Lies be told. Menace to society, welcome to sobriety. Bet you came to spy on me. Get more than you wanted to see, cause you don't know me. Welcome to my hole, with pleasure I will show the things that lie on the other side, the ones they try to call a lie. Razor wire makes you bleed, in your head they plant the seed. Got your needs, make believe. Sucking deep, you'll never breathe. And that's how we felt at the time, like we was suffocating. We'd never have a fucking voice. And, you know, a lot of these fucking school bombers and all this shit, you know what I mean? I never did that shit, so I can't say I'm coming from a place of that. But I'll tell you this, I was a wild, fucked up, disturbed kid, man, that had nobody I really felt fucking I belonged to or belonged to me. I had nothing, man, and I didn't know shit. And I used to fantasize about my little 5 minutes of fame and doing shootings and doing, I don't know if it was shootings because at that time it hadn't really happened yet, but I would fantasize about crazy ass shit, getting in a fucking band and of like-minded suicidal crazy motherfuckers that wanted to have their little 5 minutes of fame. This was a fantasy I really had back then, and I know it's gonna sound so fucked up, but there's so many kids going through this shit and they just need to vent, and they need people who fucking understand them, man, and understand that they're going through things, and somebody that can sit down with them and talk to them and help them. You know what I mean? I didn't have that. I had to do that through years of fucking isolation and whole time and having to fight this shit and deal with this shit or give in to it, and I wouldn't give in. Refused. So that being fucking said, man, anyway, I was fantasizing about fucking one of my big fantasies that I had was like starting this crazy rock band, and we're all a bunch of fucking disturbed motherfuckers, and we put this shit in our music, and it's our passion, it's our feeling, and it's our rawness. But because of that, everybody's drawn into it, like Kurt Cobain and all these other tortured fucking souls that you couldn't even always understand what the fuck they were saying, but there was good music to it, and the passion, the fucking pain was real. You felt that shit, so you identified with it and didn't even know why. Okay? So that's that was my fantasy, was, you know, because I did write. I did make lyrics and shit, even though I can't sing. I don't play an instrument and shit. And so I fantasized about being in a band full of other like-minded crazy motherfuckers like this, and we're putting real shit in music, and because of this, it makes us famous because people tune into our pain and our emotion. And that's all the fuck it is pain and emotion coming out as music. And then but we have this grand plan. Once we hit fame and we become famous and everybody knows who we are, because they're identifying with this music, not even really understanding why or how deeply we're hurt. And at the end of it, man, we have our 10 minutes of fucking fame. We go on one of our biggest little fucking tours and world tours. And at the end of that motherfucker, in whatever city, for whatever reason, uh, that's where we decided we'd do our last concert. And at the end of that concert, we'd all pull guns on each other and fucking shoot. But we had to make sure that the last motherfucker standing was one that had the balls enough to kill themselves. And granted, this was just a story. I've wrote all kinds of stories over the years. I wrote stories in my brain because I was doing the whole time and I had nothing else to do. I'd come up with whole stories I couldn't even write. Eldora, they didn't give you paper and pen in a fucking hole. You got to come out for school for like an hour or two, but they'd make you do certain shit. So I'd have to memorize, and I'd come up with these stories and entertain myself. And we'd have books, but they'd just give you whatever the fuck. And sometimes it was nothing. It was bullshit. You know what I mean? So I was creative. I wrote my own shit. I wrote shit when I was in school, stories and stuff. I wrote stories that I sent my grandma before she died, and I don't know what she did with them. Books, basically. And I've never tried to do. I wrote one when I was in jail, fucking a while back, and you know, I've been out of prison for 5 years. I've been in jail fucking 3 times over stupid shit, but it's getting better, and I'm getting away from that. But anyway, uh, so that's just one of my fantasies, which turned into a story. Which, in hindsight, fuck, I could write this story. Somebody else would probably steal it now and write it. It's a good story. And maybe I wouldn't have done nothing with it. Who knows? But I'm just saying that was a fantasy. Now, I know this. If if I had got around some like-minded crazy motherfuckers that had these same fantasies and we'd fed off each other long enough, we probably would have made something happen. In these juvenile camps where I fucking beat cops and we tried to escape and shit like that, that was a bunch of wild kids feeding off each other. I started it. I threw out a scenario. Motherfucker, oh yeah, I got into talking. And at first everybody thought it was fantasy, and then the shit went down because the motherfucker decided to tell on us even though we was just talking. But now the instructor, we already know, has heard this shit and is probably getting ready to send us all home, put us in fucking oranges, escape risk after this. Now we got to do it, but his dumb ass is deciding to make one more run out to the woods because maybe he didn't think it was going to happen because he's friends with half these kids, which is the only thing I ever felt bad about because I wasn't friends with his ass, so I didn't feel bad about whooping him, but he was with these other people. I felt like he got betrayed. That's the kind of motherfucker I am. Like, I even feel bad for my brain works weird. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just saying I get it. That's why these kids need direction, and the ones who have this pain and the ones who express it artistically, even if it comes out sounding fucking crazy and shit, work with them, man. Turn it into art. All you young kids, turn this shit, your words and your pain and your misery, into stories, into art. If you have these crazy fantasies, put them on paper and turn them into a fucking story, and then guess what? You did just make that happen. You did just create something. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all this senseless, stupid ass fucking violence, man. That don't count for shit. You know what I'm saying? And, but yeah, if I'd been around the wrong people, it's hard telling what the fuck I would have been capable of with a little bit of people pushing behind me and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? I've seen what can come out of that, man. I've been the fucking catalyst of it, and I've been the byproduct of it, and luckily not on that fucking level. Thank fucking God, man. And I feel bad for them fucking kids that went through that and done it, and the ones who were fucking victims of it, man. But when you're a kid, you don't feel that way. Nothing else really exists other than that ball of shit. If God forbid that's what you're going through, not all of us deal with that deep of shit, but we got to be conscious that some people do, and all they need is help and a way to fucking express that, and somebody to talk to who they really think cares. Because I had therapists and all that shit never done nothing to me or for me. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, that's where it's coming from. And you know, that razor wire, you know, that was two wild kids, young kids, me and myself trying to explain. So anyway, where we was coming from is wild, chaotic kids looking for a place, looking for something, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, razor wire makes you bleed. In your head, they plant a seed. You know what I'm saying? It means I'm in prison. I'm not literally getting cut by the fucking razor wire, man, but it's the razor wire of the heart. You got to understand, a lot of these are young kids going in there who don't have any fucking direction, and they just want something to fucking be part of, man. But at the same fucking time, once they get in there, all of a sudden they're pulled away from their girlfriends and their families if they have it, and they're dying, they're drowning. They didn't realize how much they loved it until now they're forced to fucking miss it and da da da. Well, the thing is, so some of them will fight to go back to it, but they still get drawn into the streets and into the lifestyle and into the bullshit. And then especially fucked up motherfuckers like me who don't have nothing to go back to. I didn't all them fucking years. I almost didn't come out because of that. You know what I'm saying? With the exception of a couple family members that, you know, I do love and felt love me and stuff, but I wasn't going to lean on nobody, man, and I was coming out here to nothing. That was a scary proposition after 14 years on the last fucking bit, and already being established and comfortable in there. You know what I'm saying? But I did it. The rest is fucking history, and all this shit is life lessons and showing you where we're coming from, but that's what you felt like, man. Fucking razor wire that made us bleed, and in our head they plant the seed. You know, got your needs, make believe, sucking deep, you'll never breathe. Because, you know, in there, your needs are make believe, you know, other than the most basic fucking shit. And you do feel like you're fucking suffocating and you're missing your people and you're a kid and you don't always understand why. Can't you see it's not a dream? You know what I mean? It ain't. Motherfuckers are in there. It's real. Someone please come rescue me from this pain and misery. Little kids not supposed to be something they should never see. Mom and dad, you fucked up me. We were still kids and we knew it. even though he's 18 and you want to feel like you're grown when you're 18. And a lot of this, I could tell was me, fucking got your needs make believe. Mom and dad, you and me, you in here I'll never see. Because he had people coming up to see him and shit. That's something that fucked with me. It's one of the things that I felt bled out in this was I'd see people coming up to visit them. I didn't have nobody. My grandma, she come a couple times during my prison bit. And I don't knock her, and it wasn't easy for nobody, I don't think. And and it was a travel and shit like that. So I get it, but I felt fucked up sometimes, and I always felt that way coming up. Parent teacher fucking day and shit like that at school, man. Fucking motherfuckers don't think about, the few kids that lost their parents or they're in foster homes, never knew their real parents or whatever, and then they're seeing all these other kids or just motherfuckers that don't come from strong families, and then they see what could be between the fake Brady Bunch TV version bullshit and then at school and all that, and parent teachers conferences and all this order and structure that we don't know till we go to prison. You know what I mean? Then we come out here and we're teaching our kids this structure and these lessons. We got beat their ass. We take their phones. We take their games. We understand. Now you can have your yard time. You can go play. You can go do this. You can go, you know what I'm saying? It does apply, man. Apply it in a good way. But anyway, that was your twofer. See if there's anything else I can break down on this. Reservoir makes you bleed in your head. They plant the seed, water it so it will grow. Yeah, I mean, they do plant that seed that, fucking we're fuck ups and we're pieces of shit and we don't deserve a fucking second chance and uh it's just it's a recycling, reoccurring fucking theme over and over. Get locked up, get back out, get locked up. They get a check, they get rich. We're not getting no real fucking guidance, man. Not in most of these fucking places. So let's try to get to these youngsters young, man, and try to get them right and try to give them structure and try to give them something good to fight for. And it didn't take me long to build it up out here. I just if I'd been focused and tired of other shit, I just wonder what I could have done. But at the same time, I'm not dwelling or give a fuck about that because I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Got two beautiful kids I'd never have otherwise. All my life is a struggle, and it's meant to fucking be, and it's making this motherfucker what it is, and it's gonna make my kids even fucking better. My girl, she's gone through her struggles, and they're gonna be even better because of that shit. Not to say we ain't got our weaknesses and our flaws, because we definitely do. But hey, it's all growth. All right, water it so it will grow. They water the bad shit, man, because they need division. They need classes. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can exist at the top. Not the way it is right now. Not the way it currently stands and is built and structured. Uh, Bet you came to spy on me. You know what I'm saying? That's how you feel in prison when they're peeking through the fucking cages, or you have these tours that come through and look at you and point at you like you're a fucking animal when you're a kid and you're seeing this shit. You're like, what the fuck? Uh, Welcome to my hole. With pleasure I will show. You know what I'm saying? That was our hole. That was our hell. You know what I'm saying? But with pleasure, I'll show you my shit because I've come to embrace this shit and love this shit. So fuck you. I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show them. uh, the ones they try to call a lie, welcome to the other side. They do hide a lot of bullshit they do in there and a lot of miserable ass shit, especially to the kids that don't know the fucking law in some of these camps and shit. You go through some of the worst shit. The adults know the penal system. You always have legal, fucking inmates that are basically fucking designated fucking lawyers. They done learn that shit in and out to fight their own cases. Used it as a hustle. Now they help other people do the same thing. And, prison lawyers. And, hold on. So, yeah, I smoke a lot of pot, so I forgot. But anyway, but yeah, so fucking, basically the kids don't know the shit they can sue over. They don't know the shit they can fight over. So a lot of crazy shit happens, man. And I got strapped to fucking boards and hung upside down in fucking showers as punishment because I'm fighting the cops in the fucking hole. You know what I mean? With fucking a goddamn helmet on my face so I can't fucking spit, but it's covering so much of my face it's making me claustrophobic. I'm passing out. I'm waking up. hours of that shit, and they were only supposed to do it, I think, an hour or two or a certain time, and they'd leave you in there sometimes, man, for 8, 10 fucking hours, because they keep coming in. Are you good? And I'm a stubborn motherfucker, so I'd be like, no, fuck you, wild kid, and passing out, and some parents are like, I ought to try that. No, don't. That's fucked. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't kill me, man, but that shit they don't do to motherfuckers in prison. They'll strap you down to a table and shit. They're not hanging you upside down in the shower where you're losing blood and conscious. And 9 times out of 10, they are sticking to how long you're supposed to be in there, although they do abuse their powers in there too, obviously. They fuck you up. They take you to blind spots. There's a lot of shit they do too. But the juvenile camps, they get away with a lot of shit. And it hardens a motherfucker. And it makes you institutionalized. It makes you ready, man. And it's crazier there than it is in fucking prison half the fucking time. So you go in there with that mentality, wanting to fucking refuel that because you find like-minded motherfuckers who are going to ride with you. You know what I'm saying? And all these bad things come from that, man. Bad motherfuckers. Not even necessarily bad motherfuckers, but just people in the wrong period of their life, usually kids or drug addicts and shit, and being influenced by other people that are in them same fucked up periods of life and feeding off each other and shit feeding off of shit, and sewers getting deeper, man, and fuck that. Let the light shine through. Because I've seen it. I've seen it in the darkest places shining through. I've seen people getting motivated. I've seen people having to fucking stay geeked up so they work out, so they stay alive, so they stay sane. Do all kinds of things, right? Do whatever you can in that motherfucker. So it's the same thing out here. You got more to fight for. Keep getting new shit to fight for and new goals and new shit to focus on, man. But I don't want to get too long-winded. Probably already am. You got a 2-for-1. That was Razor Wire. Shout out Mark Drupal. Rest in peace, brother, if what I heard was true. And I'm sorry you didn't make it, bro. Oh, God damn it. How the hell am I stronger? And I'm fucking bipolar as fuck than y'all, man. But I've seen a lot of motherfuckers go. But I'm here for a fucking reason. And I don't mind showing this shit no more, y'all. So stay strong, man. Help keep each other up. If I can do it, anybody can fucking do it. So all the fucking Mark Drupals out there that haven't been listening, motherfucker, don't give up because there's some fucking woman. Go find a new one. Or fight for that one if it's that fucking important, man. Until you realize it ain't. Or truly believe that it is and you go all in and whatever, man. But, man, we're here for a reason. This is a fucking experience. You only got one. Don't just tap out and give up. One of the biggest goddamn things that ever sent little creepy crawlies down my fucking back of my neck and shit, but in a good fucking way, in a motivational way. I'm reading fucking Himmler's List, and the goddamn, you read whatever the fuck you can in the whole, and I like educational, I like real shit. So I got that fucking book, man, and there's a part in there where they're talking about being in this prison camp, and this woman seen all her people fucking, I think her daughter raped and killed, and all these people fucking, everybody in her family murdered, and they're all gone, and what the fuck does she have to fight for? So these people are giving up in there, and they had electric fences around this shit that had enough current going through them to kill a motherfucker, and that's what they would do. And this woman, she's old woman, man, I pictured her being, I don't know how old she was in this, but I know she was old and she's seen a lot of shit, and I pictured her being this old woman just limping towards the fucking fence to take it out, and this other woman comes up to her, another old woman who's been through all the same shit, grabs her and says, no, you can't do this. And she's like, why the fuck not? And she's like, because don't you want to see how it is? And I know most people probably don't even fucking understand that. She did. She stopped and didn't go do it. And I get it. I think that's part of what always fucking drove me. And I had some dark moments, man. Some fucked up shit. And so I understood that. Like, why go through all this shit? If you've suffered, if you've been through shit, first of all, there's always somebody that suffered through 10 times more, somewhere in fucking history, 1,000 times more sometimes in some fucking cases. Your story is no less significant, But that just shows you if they could do it and get through it, so the fuck can you. I seen so many motherfuckers kill themselves in there, man. And I didn't get it. Like, and when I read that, that always rang in my head, and I always ended up speaking that to people, man. Like, don't you want to see how it ends? Why would you go through all this shit and not see what it was all about? Whether you really believe in something or not, which I do. I believe everything happens for a reason. So I'm trying to see the end outcome. And guess what? It's starting to add up. And there was times where I felt suicidal, especially as a fucking kid. Oh my God. I tried to like suffocate myself fucking to death and shit. Like I didn't know how to go by and I'm glad I didn't. And as I got older, I couldn't. And I don't think I could then. If I wanted to, I probably would have, like, all the way. But I did crazy suicidal type shit, but it's because I believed in something else. And every time I lived through one of them situations, I believed like that was God and them, man, fucking higher beings trying to fucking tell me, look, you still got something you're here for. You can inspire, motherfucker. If you can get up out of bed every day, so can the next motherfucker. So show that if these motherfuckers can go through this shit, so can you. And there's always stories that's far worse than yours. So get strength and inspiration from the next motherfucker if you need it, and then find it in yourself, man. But anyway, that being said, sorry, got a little long-winded, got a little emotional. It is what it is. This shit is real. Going through it, fellas. Going through it, peeps. Going through it, motherfuckers. But yeah, rest in peace, fucking Mark, man. If what I heard is true. And there's 2 more for y'all, so that's 3 in. I'm gonna go through this whole thing, and then I'm gonna start writing new shit, and we'll go from there. And then I'll do other episodes on other shit. So stay tuned in. If I inspire, if I entertain, if I fucking anything, man, made you feel any goddamn thing, it don't matter. Even if you're laughing at my fucking crooked ass glasses and in fact, I'm a grown motherfucker wearing sunglasses by choice. I do got light sensitive eyes though. All them years of fucking being in the fucking hole with fucking neon lights that they never turned out because they want to fucking mentally torture you, which ain't shit. I wrap a towel around my eye, whatever, but it did fuck with me after a while. But anyway, no, I'm just talking shit. It is what it is. But yeah, if I can do it, you can do it. Peace. Till next time, motherfuckers. Hey, get out here. Sure, get that shit out. You ain't even got to fucking entertain it with nobody. Just get it out, man. Somebody's going to tune in. If you got something to say and you're fucking trying to promote growth, man, and not stagnation and fucking death and disease, and we got enough of that shit, then motherfuckers want to hear from you. I guarantee you, I see your shit. I want to hear from you. I'm not going to interact. I don't really do that shit. Who knows at some point, but I'm an antisocial as a motherfucker. Which is weird. Those guys putting it out on YouTube to the whole world. Yeah, okay, but I gotta interact with nobody. I'm just venting. I'm just getting it out and hoping somebody does something with it, and it is whatever, man. And my kids that have, know where I'm coming from one of these days, be able to watch this shit. It should always be there in the archive somewhere. Anyway, much love, much peace. Gotta get the fuck out of here before I make this shit an hour long. Love you guys. Bye. Till next time, motherfuckers. I'm gonna get this to stop at some point.